Indian. None of that really matters, cause all of us are indigenous. Know your worth. You the salt of the earth, but somewhere in time we lost our flavor. Disconnected from nature and all the aspects of it. It's been demonized, and we've been programmed to believe it. I broke away from religion.
Welcome
and
back
I'm so glad
to
that I
Lamp
did it.
Oil Stock, an Israelite channel where we talk about issues from an Israelite point of view. And we want to welcome you back one more time to our continuing series called the Red Letter Bible series, where we take a look at the actual words that Christ spoke, where so often people kind of just get the gist of the story, but we're going to try and look at all the actual words. And we're continuing today with one of his sermons. Where are we at, dear?
We're at Matthew 5,
Uh-huh.
and we're going to read verses 12 through 16.
Okay.
So Matthew 5 verse 12 says, "Rejoice and be exceeding glad, for great is your reward in heaven. For so persecuted they the prophets which were before you.
Verse 13.
Ye are the salt of the earth. But if the salt have lost his savor, wherewith shall it be salted? It is thenceforth good for nothing, but to be cast out, and to be trodden under foot of men.
Verse 14.
Ye are the light of the world. A city that is set on a hill cannot be hid.
Verse 15.
Neither do men light a candle, and put it under a bushel, but on a candlestick, and it giveth light unto all that are in the house."
And verse 16.
No. Oh. Okay, sorry. Let your light shine. Let your light so shine before men, that they may see your good works, and glorify your Father which is in heaven.
Okay, so we've broken this sermon into several parts.
Right.
So the first time we did the blessed, kind of a yardstick to measure yourself by.
Uh-huh.
And now we're looking at the next part in this particular sermon. So if we start off with 12, rejoice and be exceedingly glad, for great is your reward in heaven. For so persecuted they the prophets which were before you.
Right. So it's saying, okay, look at yourself.
Right.
And these are the people that are blessed. Now, be happy that you find yourself amongst those people.
Right.
And rejoice in that. But also understand that they have persecuted all of the Most High's people that were blessed.
Right.
And since they persecuted them, you're also going to be persecuted, but you will have your reward in heaven.
Right. And this is the refinement process. You know, that's really what's going down here. This is the refinement process where the Most High allows his believers to be tested, to be refined. We call it refinement or purification, going through the fire. Right. You know, there's several different words for it. But that idea that you'll have to stand up for what you believe in the face of others around you and those type of things is something that builds character, builds strength.
And they keep saying that, you're going to be persecuted because they want you to understand that's just a fact of living this life and following the Most High. Accept it. Love it.
Get used to it?
Yeah, because it's hard when you're being persecuted. It's like when Job was tested and his friends were like, or his wife was like, just curse God and be done with it. That's what the world expects.
Right.
If you're persecuted, then you're just going to turn away from the Most High. And, in the Bible, it talks about how the evil people or the heathens or whatever are going to try to make you prove that you believe what you believe
Right.
by persecuting you. And it's just something that you have to take in stride, understanding that the Most High wouldn't do it if he didn't love and care about you.
Right. So let's take the next one.
Okay.
You want to read this because it's longer.
Ye are the salt of the earth, but if the salt have lost his savor, wherewith shall it be salted? It is thenceforth good for nothing, but to be cast out and to be trodden under foot of men.
Since you read, I'll start it off.
Go ahead.
All right. So, ye are the salt of the earth. Now, if we look at this one, this is we're comparing believers in the Most High, to salt.
Uh-huh.
Now, salt has a couple of purposes.
Mm-hmm.
It's a preservative,
Right.
and it is also a spice or flavoring, I guess is the way to say it. Right? So, this uses both parts of the, I want to say metaphor, but I know that might be the wrong word, illusion or whatever the word is that says when you say this is like this thing. But in any event, so ye are the salt of the earth. It is our job to preserve life.
Right.
You know, and yeah, okay. So this is the word I want to try to get out here. You know, here you go for a second because I know what you want to say.
Okay, so in the Bible, God gives you two choices. You can choose life or you can choose death. So this is, you are the salt of the earth, means you are here to preserve life on this planet. Not necessarily a physical body, but their spiritual body, right?
The spiritual life.
Right, preserve their soul. Now it's saying, if for some reason you go off and allow your soul to
Fall away.
yeah, thank you,
Yep.
to fall away, then you become useless.
Right, and that's the next part. But if the salt has lost its savor, it's no longer doing what it is supposed to be doing, it becomes a useless item.
Right. If you've lost your savor, then you can no longer bring people to the Most High. You are no longer doing what the Most High needs or wants you to do. Therefore, your life is worthless, and you're just you'll be thrown out like salt. If you get some salt and you get it wet, or you spill it or something, you just throw it away. You don't use it, and then of course it's trodden over. Well, in this case with us, when we fall away, as we often have, the Most High allows people to come in and punish us,
Right.
and use us in any type of way because we have fallen away from him. So then we are trodden underfoot by the other nations.
Right, exactly. And if you'll read through the Bible, you'll see this happens to the nation of Israel multiple times. They fall away, they end up following other gods and those type of things, and they end up in captivities and dispersals, all those type of things. That's the trodden underfoot.
So we are to preserve life on this in the earth. That is our job as the 12 tribes of Israel, as God's chosen people. We are to preserve first our life. We got to get our stuff together, and then we can save other people.
Right, and this is spiritual life. And this is what we're talking about. We're talking about spiritual life.
Right.
You know, it's, we say the word life, but don't get caught up in just making sure you don't die.
Right.
That is not the point here. That's not the whole idea.
So next is 14 and 15. Ye are the light of the world. A city that is set on a hill cannot be hid. Neither do men light a candle and put it under a bushel, but on a candlestick, and it giveth light unto all that are in the house.
Right. Okay, so let's break it down. All right. Ye are the light unto the world.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, if I remember correctly, Abraham, the Most High makes a covenant with Abraham that he will bless his family and he will bless the world through him.
Right.
Okay? And we are the continuation, we who believe are the continuation of that blessing to the world through the line of Abraham.
Right. So we are supposed to be living a life that people can look at and see God through. That's why we are a light to the world. The other nations, they are heathens. They're not following the Most High. They're not living by His laws. And through seeing us, they see the way that a person is supposed to live, a lifestyle that people are supposed to have, and they should see the rewards of such lifestyle. Right now, it's hard to see because of course we're coming out of being in slavery. So, but if you look out there, you can see those of us who are turning back to the Most High.
Right.
We're not falling under a lot of the evil things that are going on in the world. I'm not worried about getting sick from some mysterious disease. My husband is here raising our children.
Right.
We are teaching our children how to act and to live and to dress. So, a lot of the bad things that happen to people is because they're breaking this law or breaking that law, and that's just what happens. An Israelite's not going to be shot up in a club on a Saturday night,
right,
because that's not a place that we're going to be, so we won't have that issue.
Right, exactly. And let's keep going with this. So that's the light. I'm sorry, the other light of the world. But the next one is expanding upon it. And a city that is set on a hill cannot be hid. Okay? So what this is saying is an Israelite, a believer, can't hide the fact that they are a believer. I mean, that is the whole idea.
Or at least should not hide.
Let's go with that.
The fact that they are a believer. Because you can lock yourself up in a house and never come out. But it is your job to spread that light, to let people see it. Even if you're not telling them, oh, well, you're doing wrong. But they can see by your lifestyle the wrong that they are doing.
Exactly.
That's why verse 16 says, verse 16 says, let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven.
I'm with you. I didn't want to skip 15. Okay, because neither do men light a candle and put it under a bushel. This is that part that you were just saying. You can't hide, you shouldn't hide the fact that you believe in the Most High. By hiding that fact and not telling anyone, you may be more successful in the world, but you'll be far less successful following the Most High.
Right. You have to, like I said, I don't know if you got to go out there and shout it to people. I don't think that's wise.
Right.
But just your lifestyle, the way you act and the way you carry yourself should allow people to know that there is something in you that is far above the normal, regular person that they're seeing and dealing with. And that is that light that they see. The problem that I tend to find, or that I see, is that there's a lot of vampires out there, is what I tell my kids. And when someone sees that you have a light and they don't have it, they want to come and steal it from you.
Right.
That's why I say vampires. They want to suck all of the good out of you. They want to turn you into
what they are.
Yeah, into that dead thing that they are, and you have to be careful not to allow that to happen, because everything that's in the dark wants to stay in the dark. And when you come around with the Most High shining through you, it becomes it becomes something horrible to those people, so they want to put it out.
Right. Right. I'm with you. I see what you're saying. Now, if we take these these last two videos we've done and kind of stick them together here, all right? We have Christ explaining what a believer is, and then explaining how a believer acts.
Right. Right.
You know, so first we get, like I said earlier, like a yardstick to measure yourself, and then how to show that to everyone else.
Right.
Because by spreading that light in the world, you know, by spreading the Most High, spreading that light in the world, that's what makes us successful.
Right. We have to remember that, yes, we want to live. We want to make it to the kingdom. But we want, because God says that He loves everybody,
Right.
that He created everything, He says that He doesn't want anybody to perish. So, yes, we are the Israelites. Yes, He chose us. We are His chosen people, and we are the ones who have been given this task of first getting ourselves together and being the light, and then to shine that light to everyone else, so
Right.
that they can come to the Most High as well.
Exactly. And we're going to, I'm sure we're going to talk about this later on. You know, it says judgment starts with the house of Israel and then spreads to the world.
Right.
You know, so the big thing, one of the big things is get ourselves together so that we are living that life correctly and then showing that to everyone else.
Sounds good.
Until we get to the next part. We got more to go.
Right.
You know, so thank you all so very much for taking a little bit of time to hang out with us and listen to us conversate about this particular part. As I said earlier in the beginning, I forgot. We need people to subscribe or leave us a comment.
Yeah, you said you were going to say it at the beginning.
I forgot.
All right.
You know, but hey, thank you all once again for listening, taking a little bit of time out. If you would like, if you could, leave us a comment or a like.
Or a dislike.
Or any of those type of things. Let us know what you happen to think. Got anything else?
Kwame Yasharala.
Bye.
Bible in my hand, word inside my heart.